What is up YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2018 Back Battles. Today we're going to be using the Mega Gyarados team once again with Gyarados, Tapu Koko, Salazzle, Landis-Fairing, Amoonguss, and Aegislash. Let's get started and play some games. So, Salazzle has been putting in quite a bit of work as well as Gyarados. And of course, if you haven't checked out the previous episodes of VGC 2018 Back Battles, I highly recommend go checking them out. But yeah, honestly, I kind of am liking the Salazzle Mega Gyarados core. It's actually a really fun core. I feel like every single member has put in work in some form or another, either through testing or the previous episodes. I'm pretty sure we brought all 6 members so far, which is really nice. And, you know, I am thinking about maybe what kind of changes I can make to this team. I'm really considering playing Superpower and Landers over Knockoff. A Knockoff would be useful for Snorlax, but, like, I think Superpower is also could be really solid because, yeah, Tyranitar is a really hard Pokemon to switch if I do bring my offensive mode, which is Landers, Salazzle, Koko, and Gyarados. So, anyway, yeah, so I'm thinking of maybe playing Superpower. I might change it in the future to Superpower, because I honestly have not really clicked Knockoff too much. But yeah, that's something to debate about for the future. But anyway, I think we're just going to cut it here, so we'll be right back for the first game of today's episode. Alright, we got our first opponent, Antonio from Italy, 1672 rating as our first opponent, with the team of Suicune, Tapu Koko, Volcarona, Landis-Fairing, Ferrothorn, and Kangaskhan. So, how do I want to approach this matchup? Because I don't exactly like... Tapu Koko is okay to deal with, but it's going to be tough. Amoonguss can be great. Volcarona is a bit of a problem. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting matchup for sure. Do I want to bring Landers is the question. Alright. If I was my opponent, what would I bring? Because honestly, I don't see Suicune being brought. I see the other 5 being brought because I don't see Suicune having a really big role in this game. It doesn't really do much to my team otherwise. I think it would be... Maybe you don't even bring Kangaskhan. To be honest, I see Koko, Volcarona, Landis-Fairing, and Ferrothorn being really good against my matchup. I don't know how I should play this. Salazzle plus Koko might be a good lead, but the problem is that Landis-Fairing. I think I'm gonna go Salazzle, Koko. Amoonguss is pretty good in the matchup, but I think I want to go Landers and Gyarados in the back. Yeah. I think Landers can do a lot of work because my opponent's probably not going to... I would assume my opponent doesn't bring Suicune when I have the Amoonguss and Gyarados as an option, so I really just don't see it. And honestly, I feel like you had to bring Volcarona for the Amoonguss. I think you had to bring Pharaoh for the Gyarados. And then, I think the last 2 are toss-up. Koko Landers is probably what's more likely. I don't really see the Mega Evolution doing much work here, to be honest. It doesn't really do much to my team, other than maybe a Fake Out, but like Fake Out really doesn't help against my team in general. So, Koko Salazzle will lead here against the Kangaskhan Tapu Koko. Okay. That's interesting. This is definitely an interesting position. You're probably gonna, what, fake out my Koko, Thunderbolt Salazzle. I think I'm gonna just go my own Landers, and honestly, I don't see a reason not to throw off a Volt Switch in a Kangaskhan if it decides to attack here. So I don't really see a problem with this play, because you're probably just gonna go for a safe fake out on a Koko. And I would assume a Thunderbolt because honestly, there's not much you could do otherwise. You might Volt Switch in my Lander slot, which I could definitely see as well. Wouldn't be too big of a deal, as I will get Landers in. Let's see, what does my opponent decide to do? It's going to be Protect from Koko, actually. And is it just a Fake Out into my Koko in regular? Okay. It might be Inner Focus. Oh, into my Landorus. Interesting. So I got a Volt Switch off into Kangaskhan, which is pretty good chip damage, to be honest. And I get to go out into... I think I could go Salazzle here. I could go Gyarados or I could go Salazzle. I'm really considering going Salazzle because because then I'm like worried about the Gabled Havoc. Or I could maybe just going Gyarados as a play, going for U-turn into the Tapu Koko slot, and then just going out into my own Tapu Koko is a good plan. Because at this rate, I get a double Intimidate and a Kangaskhan. So that Kangaskhan's not going to be doing too much damage, right? Now, I'm trying to think here. I think U-turn is a play into the Tapu Koko slot. I think switching out my own Tapu Koko is just really safe here because of the fact that Gyarados is useful. I don't want Gigabolt Havoc to catch my Gyarados slot. You should be scared of a Scarf Landers potentially. I don't know if you are. Really interesting decision to see a Fake Out into Salazzle though. That's a really interesting decision. Koko's going to withdraw. I'm guessing this is Landers coming in. Yep, Landers is going to come out. So that's pretty nice. Does the Kangaskhan withdraw too? Because it is at -2, -3 after the next round of Intimidate I'm about to throw off at it. So retreat this Pokemon, go out into Tapu Koko. And no, we're just going to see it Mega Ball. Alright. That's not too bad for me. That's not too bad at all. Who are you going to double edge is the question. I would imagine it's the Gyarados because you did bring in your Landers. Or you might just target down my Landers slot, but like a -3 double edge isn't going to be doing too much. And if it's an Ice Punch, that's even better for me. So I'm going to go with my Gyarados here. Gyarados is always a safe play. Then I think I can Volt Switch to Kangaskhan slot, get a Dragon Dance up, and then get my Landers back in. Yeah, like this is looking really good of a position here. As it is Ice Punch actually, so that's beautiful. Just don't freeze me, please. Nice. Okay, perfect. My position here in the board has been really good here because now Dragon Dance, this is 1 out of 2 I need to win the game. And I will just go for a Volt Switch into Kangaskhan. I want to find out if it's Scarf Landers potentially, and I do want to Volt Switch to Kangaskhan slot because I think it's highly likely Kangaskhan just switches out into Koko and maybe a U-turn from the Landers. So if that does happen and if it's like Scarf Landers and it goes for U-turn, because I don't think you're going to Earthquake in the position you're in because you don't have a safe Earthquake switching. So Earthquake is definitely out of my options, I think, if you're my opponent. As you're going to stay in with both, okay. Volt Switch going to come out into Kangaskhan. Good amount of damage. Excellent amount, as I'm going to be able to go my Landorus. And drop another Intimidate. So that's -2 Landers and -4 Kangaskhan. That is actually kind of insane. I'm pretty sure U-turn's going to come out, though. I don't imagine Rock Slide coming out. As... oh, wow, it is Rock Slide. Landers avoids, but I just need Gyarados not to flinch here. That does a good amount still. Flinch. Nice. Okay. That Kangaskhan's really slow. That Kangaskhan's really slow. Is it going for double edge too? Ice Punch into probably the Tapu Koko slot? Very nice call, but like it doesn't do much damage, yeah, to my Landers. I'm definitely fine with taking that. And honestly, I do like I want to get another Dragonet. Do I want to get another Dragonet? I could just Waterfall to Gyarados, to be honest. And Earthquake. Yeah. I think that's what I'm going to do. My opponent really doesn't have... he's not in a good position at all because now I can just Earthquake, Waterfall, and whatever's coming in is going to be caught by this. Suicune is actually brought out, so you did bring the Suicune. Interesting. But Suicune's not really a threat to me, so I'm not really too worried. And getting rid of Kangaskhan is like big pressure against me, so I do not mind this play, as I get a lot of damage on the Suicune, and I get rid of the Fake Out user on my opponent's side. So look at that beautiful, beautiful damage that Scarf Landers put in. And also that this Gyarados is going to be putting in some work. We get a Waterfall off in the Suicune. Oh, baby, that is some beautiful damage. What's coming out? Is it going to be Koko or Landorus? Landorus going to come back out, okay. It's not Scarf Landers, because if it was Scarf Landers, it would have outspent my Gyarados. My Gyarados is at neutral. I could just fire off a Mega Evolution Waterfall right here. And I'm honestly thinking of just going out in my own Koko is a safe play, because I get the knockout on Landers here most likely, unless you're gonna double into Koko, but then you just take a bunch of damage, I feel like, unnecessarily. Unless you have Protect on your Landorus, but honestly, I don't see it on the team. I would see Assault Vest, if anything, on this team. And I get to say my Landorus is Intimidate for later. And honestly, I could look at the Scarf Earthquake endgame sweep. So this is looking really ideal here for me. As I will switch out my Landorus, go out into Coco. And what are we going to see from my opponent? Stays in, so unless you Protect, you're going to be in a lot of trouble, my friend. If you do have Protect, we're going to play some interesting mind games, I guess. Mold Breaker. I could have also crunched a Suicune. But yeah, I do get rid of Landorus here with the Waterfall. So, Waterfall going to knock out the Landorus. Nice. And this is looking like the beginning of the end for my opponent, because my opponent doesn't have many options. Oh, you don't even have Tailwind. Interesting. Ice Beam into Gyarados. Going for the freeze? I don't know. As we'll probably see Tapu Koko come out. Yep. Honestly, all I have to do is get rid of the Suicune. All I need to do is get rid of Suicune or Electro Web my opponent twice. I think I'll Dragon Dance and I'll Volt Switch here. Yeah. Volt Switch should be able to knock out Suicune. My opponent really doesn't have a way to stop me. If Coco wants to go into my own Coco slot for some reason, I get Dragon Dance up, and it's like I could see Suicune having Protect here, which is why I don't want to double it. As we're just going to see the Thunderbolt come out into my Gyarados, which is going to pick up the knockout. I could have went into my Landorus if I really want to anticipate that, but I don't feel like it's necessary at all for this game, because I will be able to get a Volt Switch off into the Suicune, and that will be able to get a knockout on Suicune. So Suicune goes down, and now I get a free switch in, and Salazzle looks like a very nice switch in here. And I will throw off a Poisonium Z on the Protect, most likely. Yeah, I'll go Coco. I'll just go Coco just in case. I'll fire off a... Oh, what? Volt Switch? Yeah, Volt Switch is fine. And I will go for Poisonium in case he decides to Protect here, which is very likely, I think. Yeah. And that puts him in the damage range for my Scarf Landorus in case he's like some random, decently bulky Coco with Electrium, which I have seen on these kinds of teams before. So let us go, Salazzle. Okay, Gyarados plus Landorus has put in the work as well as this Coco. We didn't get to use Electro Web at all, which I thought I was going to be able to use against like Kangaskhan, Coco, Electro Web, and then have like other Pokemon outspeed, but the rotation of Intimidate was insane. Like, you saw how I was able to easily rotate Intimidate, so this core is amazing. Look at that damage on that Coco. Look at that damage. I honestly want a Salazzle endgame sweep. You know what? I'm going to go for a Electro Web here. Is there a point? Honestly, I'm just gonna Volt Switch. Honestly, I'll go on a Landorus. There's honestly no way I think my opponent can win the game. Like, my opponent doesn't have damage output. I'll just switch out to Salazzle, go in a Landorus, and Volt Switch. Because if you want to Gleam here, it doesn't matter. Last turn of Electric Terrain, I get to Fake Out. Then your Thunderbolt doesn't KO my Salazzle, and you're actually just going to throw off an Electrium Z, which is great here. What are you going to go out into? I'm guessing it's my Tapu Koko slot, but it could be potentially... yeah, it's into Salazzle. Nice. Get a Volt Switch off. Doesn't KO, but that's alright. I'll go into Salazzle. Did I ever reveal I was Scarf Landorus? I don't think I did. Did I keep that information for later? Is it worth? I guess it's worth in case I play my opponent again. I'm just going to go for Fake Out into Coco and switch out into my own Coco because I'm not risking anything. Because I could face my opponent later on. So, going to go out into my own Coco and just click Fake Out, and then I dress in Volt Switch plus Sludge Bomb as my opponent is going to go down to the Fake Out, and that is going to be good game. So, not the Pokemon I was expecting. No Ferrothorn, which just made my Gyarados' job a lot easier, and no Volcarona. So, Amoonguss would have actually been a really good Pokemon to bring in here because it would probably just been able to wall my opponent's team, to be honest, and Sport a Landorus, which would have been really nice. But luckily, just able to pull through. The rotation of Intimidate was pretty huge. Just being able to slow down the Kangaskhan as well as the Landers who refuse to switch out, keeping Coco out of the picture, and Suicune coming in too late, not being able to tailwind up was incredibly huge for me because it was just allowing my Gyarados to set up, pick up the knockout Landers, etc. So, nice, nice. Salazzle, plus all my other Pokemon putting in some work. Is it lagging? I hope the video isn't lagging because it kind of seems a bit laggy, but yeah. All right, we got a 1726 rated player from Japan as our next opponent. It does look like it's lagging. Why? All right. Hopefully, it's not gonna be too bad. We have a Pelipper, Ludicolo, Tapu Koko, Incineroar, Salamence, and Swampert. So dual Mega Rain, which is interesting. So again, my Rain matchup is terrible. The Z move is definitely going to be on either Ludicolo, Koko, or Incineroar on this team. Honestly, I don't see this as a matchup I can win. Well, it can be. It's going to be really tough. I think I have to go... Do I go Gyarados-Amoonguss? Gyarados-Amoonguss doesn't seem bad. Do I want Salazzle? Salazzle kind of gets outsped by everything, so I'm not sure if it's worth. Landorus could be decent. I don't know, like, I definitely want Koko, I think, because of the fact that it's gonna live, I think, an Earthquake from Swampert. I'm pretty sure it would. Actually, it might be a roll. Oh, my camera's out of focus, like, really bad. Salazzle for Fake Out, not really that great. Could help stall out rain turns though. I think I'm gonna go Salazzle in the back, yeah. I just don't see Landorus being too useful other than maybe I Intimidate Swampert, but then I just... Well, either way, I don't have a Water Resist. I don't have a Water Resist other than the two I'm leading, and the two I'm leading aren't that great. I think I should put Sludge Bomb over Clear Smog. I don't think Clear Smog has really helped me at all with this Amoonguss. And if I'm rotating Intimidate, I think I want to keep that Intimidate rotating. So I think I should put Sludge Bomb or Energy Ball or something. So I might change that for the next episode. Pelipper, Ludicolo gonna lead here, as that is fine. I don't think this is a game I can set up with Gyarados. This is a game where I have to attack with Gyarados as fast as possible. Well, I could Dragon Dance. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go on the offense here with a Crunch and a Spore and a Pelipper. You might Fake Out here. You might double Amoonguss with Ice Beam Hurricane, which I'm not sure because it's a knockout. Probably does, to be honest, because like Pelipper's Hurricane is kind of insane damage output. But here, I'll go for the Spore into the Pelipper, because if you want a Tailwind for some reason, which I don't think you even have to at this point, but just to make sense. And if you go for like Fake Out Tailwind on my Amoonguss slot, I mean, I get a lot of damage onto your Ludicolo, maybe putting in Clear Smog range. So either way, this is going to be pretty good as, let's see, you might double up into Gyarados as well. But I might live to double up, so let's see. Is that Voltarium? Already? Burning the Z move. That's a interesting decision. That's why my opponent doesn't have Ice Beam on this Ludicolo. What if it's Protect, Giga Drain, Hydro Pump? Or maybe just trying to, yeah, into the Gyarados. That's not something I anticipated at all. That still does a lot, and Mega Gyarados has amazing special defense. You can see how insane that is. A double up in the Gyarados, actually. No confusion, which I'm like, oh man, thank God. I get a crit, which actually might bite me in the future because of the fact that this gives my opponent a free switch in. Okay, now I kind of wish I brought Landorus because Intimidate would be very nice for what's about to come, which is going to be the Swampert, most likely. Salamence. Interesting decision. I do like my Tapu Koko here a lot, though. Like, Tapu Koko is going to put in some work. Electro is definitely going to put in some work here. So, I think Protect Amoonguss and just get into my Tapu Koko. I wonder what kind of item the Pelipper is. I'm guessing it's Damp Rock on this team, but it could be Focus Sash. But if it's Damp Rock, I just get an Electro Web off and get a big something. So let's see what my opponent's gonna do. It's gonna Mega Evolve with Salamence. The problem is I have no damage output for this. I don't have any damage output for the Swampert. It might be worth sacking Amoonguss next turn. Yeah, I think it's worth Rock Slide. You mean I could have Spored? I was expecting Hyper Voice. Pelipper take its first turn of sleep. Yeah, that's an interesting turn if I ever saw one. I think I'm just gonna sack Amoonguss here and Spore the Salamence. Are you Earthquake too? I don't think Earthquake knocks me out, but maybe. That's a slow Salamence. It's adamant, it looks like. Electro, gonna catch the Pelipper as well as the Salamence. Looks like it's not Damp Rock Pelipper, which is actually a huge relief because that thing could have been scarier, I think. And let's see what my opponent's gonna go for. Probably Frustration? Okay. Into the Amoonguss, does pick up the knockout. It is Adamant Frustration after all. And Pelipper stays asleep. That's really good. That's really good. I guess I want to go Gyarados now. I want to click Waterfall into that Pelipper slot. Or do I just want to click Crunch and Electro Web? The problem is I could see Pelipper going out into... I could see Pelipper going out into Swampert if my opponent has it. Well, then again, if you had Swampert, you would have probably brought it. Oh, you don't have Swampert. You have Salamence. What am I saying? What's his last then? Incineroar or Coco? Definitely one of those two. I mean, I just get to Electro Web here, and I think just throw off a... Protect? Yeah, I think Protect is fine. Why did I keep thinking it was Salamence? Why did I keep thinking it was, potentially... Oh, that's bad. I needed the chip damage on the Salamence. But that's not good. Because another Electro Web into Crunch was probably going to knock it out. Now I'm in a pretty bad spot. Rock Slide again. Okay. This is a really interesting Salamence set. Well, then again, Rock Slide, I guess, helps with the Charizard matchup, so I guess that makes sense. Although... Okay, so you probably don't have Earthquake, because you would have went for Earthquake there. Incineroar going to come out as the last mon. This has made things definitely interesting. I don't know who you're going to fake out. I mean, Gyarados is probably an easy target here. I don't know if he would make that play. I can't risk anything. I think Nature's Madness into Salamence and then go out on Salazzle. Last turn of Rain, which is pretty good. Although if you Flare Blitz my Coco slot, we could have some problems, but it depends on what the Salamence does here. Does Rock Slide knock out Salazzle with a combination of Fake Out? It's Fake Out and a Coco, so I don't have to worry about that. It is going to be a Rock Slide again. Coco Voice, which is nice. Does Salazzle survive this, though? Oh, it does. Okay. Not too big of a deal. Rain stops, which is pretty good. Pretty sure Electro Web plus Poisonium Z should be able to knock out the Salamence. Oh, you might protect Salamence. Let me see. Is that the play? Because I could Nature's Madness, the Incineroar, and Fake Out the Salamence. If I expect Protect. You know what? I'm going to Fake Out the Salamence and Nature's Madness, the Incineroar. Because, you are going to protect Salamence. Okay. I didn't want to lose anything if Salamence... I never want Salamence to ever get a free Dragon Dance up. If it does have Dragon Dance. But I think this is a better play. We can... The Incineroar for the late game as Knockoff going to come out and target down my Salazzle slot. Okay. Huh. So I get to go out in this. I get to go on a Gyarados. This position is really interesting, and the Electro Web miss is gonna hurt me a lot, I feel. So I get Gyarados in. That should be Assault Vest Incineroar. Kinda mad I didn't throw off a Poisonium Z. I just don't think it knocked out Salamence at neutral. So I think I can Sky Drop the Salamence and Waterfall the Incineroar. Because even though I won't do damage to the Salamence, like, I just need to take it up into the air for one turn so I can have my Gyarados survive. And I need a big crunch. And I think Nature's Madness... I think that Coco Rock Slide miss might be huge. Because I'm definitely going to protect here. This is a really close end game. This really is. Okay. I definitely protect here. He might read this, but I don't think he has a move that can knock out Coco. And honestly, a Rock Slide is looking like a safe play here for my opponent. So let's see. It's Frustration into Coco. So could have went for a Dragon Dance there potentially, as yeah, this is going to be scary. Should I just go for Nature's Madness plus Crunch? I think that is my best play. Yeah, I think it is my best play. Volt Switch is not going to do enough. I could risk a Rock Slide miss, but I don't feel... Oh, that's big. Let me see how much this Crunch did. If Nature's Madness... that would have been close, but I think I would have missed it, to be honest. Rock Slide going to come out. Does connect with both. That is going to be good game. So I missed a Rock Slide earlier on. I mean, he missed a Rock Slide early on, which definitely did matter in this end game. But I also missed an Electro Web, which also could have just potentially sealed it up for me as well. So who knows? It really just depended on like how the last turns would have played out. But it was already a really tough matchup. I'm actually really surprised to see Salamence over the Swampert as the Mega Evolution. But then again, like, I guess maybe you wanted to Intimidate as well, as like Swampert can easily be stopped by double Intimidate, but Salamance's damage output is just still really crazy against most of my team. So really good game to my opponent. I felt like if I needed to get back into that game, I think if I should have just fired off the Poisonium Z. If I fired off the Poisonium Z, I would have been able to get the bit of chip, and then Nature's Madness, if it connected with the crunch, would have secured the game regardless of what my opponent did. So yeah, I should have just went for the Poisonium Z, but it would have still came down to me hitting Nature's Madness in the end, I think. But thank you all for tuning in today's episode of VGC 2018 Back Battles. Gonna go 1-1 again, but hope everyone enjoyed. If you did like this video, please leave a like down below, show some support, as well as you can check out the rest of my stuff down below, such as my social medias and all that good stuff. And as always, feel free to check out the side series on the channel, and feel free to leave a comment down below because I do read them. Otherwise, have a great day, people. I will catch you around in another video.